we are on the draw. Opponent has mulligan to 6, and we have one of these one-landers, which I feel like is pretty normal. So we have a stone and 2 always watchings. The always watchings are like kind of far away because we only have 17 land left in our deck. And I don't know. I feel like Tom would possibly mulligan this nowadays, but I'm going to keep it. I know that I was saying in the deck tech that, this is one of the keys to success is just like tightening up the range and stuff like that. But, I gotta learn for myself because I feel like these 3 1-drops are quite good. And we just immediately get a second land, which is great. I'm not sure if I should lead on Gossip Monger, actually. Because I could play, like, Anointer, transform the Gossip Monger, and then attack with both Gossip Monger and Dragon Hunter. Seems pretty good. If I lead on Dragon Hunter, I have to wait. So I have to play Gossip Monger first. Wow. Wowie, wow. Do we transform? I think we do. Our opponent could be playing Band Company. So I really don't want them to Dramoka's command my Gossip Monger, even if it is just off a Jace. And now, if we draw a land, we probably play Always Watching. If we do not draw a land, it's still fine. So is our opponent the Crush of Tentacles deck? I don't know. It doesn't matter, because we're going to smush them. And I'm not going to offer the trade with Anointer, because I feel like it's way more valuable to just make it so our opponent can't block and whatnot. And if I attack with Anointer, they could just trade Nissa with either Dragon Hunter or Anointer, and I just don't want that. Like, this Nissa is basically irrelevant, so just keep my creatures on the battlefield, let them keep theirs. I don't really care. What is 4 mana? Is 4 mana Bounding Crassus, I suppose? My opponent could be playing Collected Company. I think this is still a pretty safe attack. Might not attack with the Lieutenant, but okay. Or my opponent just concedes. Whatever. So, are they playing Company or not? They have Evolving Wilds, but I think the Crush deck played Evolving Wilds anyway. So I could side in Bushwhackers and Needle Spires, but it's pretty bad if they're actually on Band Company. And I think, excuse me, even if they are the Crush of Tentacles deck, then the matchup is probably good enough where I don't need the Bushwhackers necessarily anyway. So I think I'm just going to sideboard like their Company, basically, and I don't know. Silkwrap, Gristboon, and basically the Stone and some ones. Basically just going off Tom's sideboarding guide here. He was bringing in 1 Militia Captain, which we don't have. So yeah, we're probably just doing very light sideboarding. Keep a 3-3 split on Hunter and Envoy, just because like Hunter having pro dragons should not come up. They could have Dramoka, but it's really not a big deal, and I'd rather just not have, a greater risk of just getting Declaration in Stone if they have that in their sideboard. I really do think my opponent is just the blue-green deck, which makes me want, like, Stasis Snares for, Flash Bounding Crassuses and whatnot, but yeah, Stone and Silkwrap are pretty bad against Void Grafter also. So that 1-lander did work out, basically just because we drew a land immediately. Well, there's Canopy Vista. Okay, so maybe I did sideboard correctly. So lead on Envoy. Yeah, now they're just green, white, and plains. Okay. I think I just want to go Anointer, Dragon Hunter, and then next turn play Knight Lieutenant. And then awesome 3/2s that can attack into this Advocate with the Anointer. So Anointer doing some work. I could double block if I wanted to just concede the game, but I don't really. So I'll just take the 2 damage instead. Stoned my thing. All right. Well, is he just gonna sack to sack? That'd be great. Ooh, that's awesome. I am more than happy with that. Dub 2/2, first strike, ETB, kill a land. Gas. Alright, so I have Griffspoon to protect me against Dramoka's Command to kill my Always Watching. So I could just play the Watching this turn. Alternatively, I could play the Lieutenant and the Envoy. Probably not in that order. Envoy opens me up to another stone, which my opponent has already shown me that they do indeed have. Which one? My Anointer got stoned, right? Yeah. What to do? So if I Always Watching, the Knight plays offense and defense, can attack freely into these things, can attack here. Could also offer the trade with Dragon Hunter on anything, basically, so it's not that bad. It's actually quite good. They basically end up having to take 7 damage. I have a higher chance of winning, I think, if I also get to attack with the Envoy next turn, because I just have an extra creature. But if I do get stoned, it is not great for me. My opponent still has a lot of stuff they have to deal with too, so maybe it's not even that bad. Maybe what I should do is play the Lieutenant first, and then play the Envoy to get the counter on the Lieutenant. And then if I get stoned, it's not like I invested into making this Envoy any good. So, we'll just offer the trade with Dragon Hunter, even though it's going to be Advocate's going to be notched out next turn. I think that's still fine. I think I just want to keep the board clear. Yeah, so it looks like they're just Bant Company. We have another Griffspoon. It's not really lethal. Only 8 damages. So if we play Always Watching, they get to trade with Lieutenant and trade with the Envoy. 579, go to 2. And that certainly seems really good. Otherwise, they could chump one of my creatures. But then what could happen? Yeah, I like this. I like just getting the Displacer off the board, too. Or they concede. Yeah, see? Quick games. Quick games.